This is Kyle Martin Paintings. Hey, welcome back to this plein air painting channel. My name is Kyle Martin, and I've just pulled my van over here, and it's January 30th. It's an extremely warm January 30th. I think it hit 60 degrees today. You can see I just pulled my car over in the ditch out here, and the reason is that we have some beautiful light this evening, and I'm hoping to start a painting of this scene right behind me. We have a farm scene that features a sunlit barn and pasture with a hill and a tree-lined hill in the background. It's the first week of classes at the university that I'm an instructor at, and last night I was leaving the school. It was at 4 in the, there goes one of my students right there. I was leaving the school at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I came down the road right here and I looked at this scene, and I was just blown away by the beautiful quality of light that was happening. Of course, it's January, so the sun is always kind of low in the sky, but the special thing about the light this evening is that as you look out here on this scene, in the summertime the sun sets way over there, so you don't get this kind of lit up side of the barn, and now the sun is way over there because it's you know, it's the middle of winter. So I'm going to take advantage of this special quality of light, and I'm going to take advantage of the day to create a plein air painting, at least get one started. You know, not much has changed. Back when I was a student at the university, I would come through here. I can remember my first semester when I was a student at the university. I came down the same road, Terrytown Road, and the very first week of classes there was a sunny evening, and I was very inspired by the light that evening, and that led me to create, and I ended up creating a series of paintings that went into a show. The name of the show was After School Studies. I would drive down Terrytown Road after school and created all of the studies that were in the show. 16 years later, not much has changed. I'm still inspired by the light. I'm still coming down the same road. I'm still inspired by the light, and I'm still gonna paint it. So let's get started. Okay, it's 3:59 right now. Here's the little value sketch that I came up with. I broke down the scene into its most simplified value pattern that I could. I did so wearing these glasses. You can probably see the contrast of dark and light if you look through the glasses that I was wearing when I created this. I've got my start. There's the people are coming home. Hopefully they don't kick me out. No, they won't. They're cool. I'm gonna get started on the canvas and we'll do some more filming in a second. My camera battery is at 15%, so let's see what we can get filmed today, and then I'll come back and finish this off another day, probably after school. Today is January 31st. It's the last day of January, and we're going to finish off the painting of the barn on Terrytown Road. And yesterday when I came out and I was painting, I know that When I came out and painted yesterday, I really kind of had to pick myself up just to get out here. Yesterday when I was gonna head out and paint, I was tired and I didn't necessarily want to go out and paint. I just was having a lull in my energy. But once I got outside and I was painting for 10 minutes, I felt great. And by the time I went home, for some reason, I was fully recharged and I was just full of life. And isn't that the way that painting goes? Painting is the hardest thing to start and the hardest thing to stop. Sometimes it's hard to get going, but once you're going, the only thing that would make you want to stop is the sun setting. And the sun did set while I was painting yesterday. Speaking of the painting, I felt like I kind of farmed the composition. Like I felt that this main barn was too in the center of the painting. So I kind of invented this farm building idea over here. I'm gonna take it back to what's actually there. The first thing I'm gonna do is do some scraping. I'm gonna get rid of this barn and I'm gonna move this barn back over here. And I think that that's gonna make me feel better about the composition. And I painted with the knife yesterday. I'll probably use a combination of knife and brush to finish this painting off today. I have about an hour to do that, so let's get started. The painting to a resolve. Thanks so much for watching. The sun has set behind the bluffs on the horizon, and I'm making my final marks this evening. So happy that you joined me for today's painting session. Let's take a look at some of the texture, and I'll also try and get some shots of this painting in the studio. But what an excellent time of painting. I had a great time out here with you this evening. Let's do this again soon.